Your 4 favorites are Betty Blue, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, Shoplifters, and The Unbearable Lightness of Being. My top choice for you is that obscure object of desire, because Betty Blue, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, and The Unbearable Lightness of Being explore themes related to romantic and sexual desire, with characters often confusing obsession and love or control and devotion, resulting in relationships that are complicated, troubled, or tragic. Not only does this movie explore those types of themes and relationships, but it's also a black comedy like Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. Like Shoplifters, it makes a statement about class and capitalism because it depicts an interclass relationship. And like The Unbearable Lightness of Being, it's set against a backdrop of social or political upheaval. Paris, Texas also depicts a tumultuous relationship and explores some similar themes, but I'm trying to be vague to avoid spoilers. And like Shoplifters, it depicts an unconventional family, and one of the characters works at one of those peep shows with a one-way mirror. The relationship in Betty Blue reminds me a bit of Summer with Monica, which also deals with some of the themes explored in The Unbearable Lightness of Being. Again, sorry for being vague, I'm just trying to avoid spoilers. Cold War depicts a passionate yet destructive relationship like Betty Blue, and like The Unbearable Lightness of Being, it's a romantic film that's also a critique of communism. Jules and Jim depicts a love triangle set against a backdrop of political conflict like The Unbearable Lightness of Being. And a few of the female characters in your favorites remind me of Catherine in Jules and Jim because these men are trying to understand her and love her, but they also kind of want to own and control her, and she's enigmatic, impulsive, capricious, carefree, and maybe a little self-destructive. Speaking of love triangles, there are a few movies I want to recommend that also involve love triangles, but that's not the main reason why I'm recommending them. I think you'd enjoy these movies for the way they offer such candid discussions and observations about sex and the complexities of romance. And those movies are Women in Love, Carnal Knowledge, That Most Important Thing, Love, The Mother and the Whore, and Y Tu Mama Tambien. I didn't mean to recommend 2 movies in a row with mother in the title, but while I'm on a roll, I wrote down a few movies from the director of Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down that you didn't have marked as watch, but I know it's boring if I just list a bunch of movies from the same director, so I'm just going to say that the one I'd recommend the most is All About My Mother. Since you love movies about dysfunctional romances and some of your favorites involve mental illness, I think you'd appreciate A Woman Under the Influence. Plus, this movie isn't solely about a romantic relationship, it's also about family like Shoplifters. Damage is an erotic psychological romance film that delves into a lot of the themes in your favorites, including desire, obsession, power dynamics, and infidelity. And like The Unbearable Lightness of Being, it stars Juliette Binoche. Speaking of which, she also stars in The Lovers on the Bridge, which tackles a lot of the same themes, and the characters are living in poverty like the characters in Shoplifters. The combination of a family drama like Shoplifters with the dysfunctional romances in your favorites makes me think you'd like Vengeance Is Mine. Wildlife involves an unstable romantic relationship and mental health issues like some of your favorites. And like Shoplifters, it's about a family that's struggling financially. A few other movies about families dealing with financial hardship that I think you might like since you like Shoplifters are Tokyo Sonata, Nobody Knows, which is from the director of Shoplifters, and Bicycle Thieves. And if you like Shoplifters for its style and tone, I think you might appreciate Ozu's quiet family dramas. I definitely get the feeling you'd like Tokyo Story, but I want to throw in Late Spring as well because that's my favorite.